Picture this. It's a regular weekday morning in Charlotte. Kids are waiting for the school bus, coffee shops are opening, people are clocking in at work. The city looks normal, but under that normal morning light, something else is moving. Unmarked SUVs, plainclothes agents, quiet knocks that are not from a neighbor, word spreads fast. They're here. In the last few weeks, North Carolina has become the stage for a new wave of federal immigration enforcement, what officials are calling Operation Charlotte's Web. On paper, the government says it's focused on criminal illegal aliens, people they claim are dangerous and terrorizing communities. They report hundreds of arrests across the state, more than 250 in a matter of days, with some reports pushing that number closer to 370. But in the neighborhoods, it doesn't feel like a neat, tidy operation. It feels like fear. Imagine being a parent in Charlotte or Raleigh. You wake up earlier than everyone else because you've heard the stories. Checkpoints near job sites, agents waiting outside apartment complexes, cars stopped in parking lots that never used to be watched. You tell your kids, if someone knocks, don't open the door. You check the blinds before you grab your keys. You debate whether to go to work or stay home and hope your family stays together for one more day. This is not a headline on a distant screen. This is a grandmother skipping her doctor's appointment. This is a teenager too scared to drive to class. This is a child sitting in school, wondering if both parents will still be there when they get home. The operation didn't just appear out of nowhere. At first, attention was on the Triangle, Raleigh and surrounding areas, where federal agents increased their presence and people started sharing warnings in WhatsApp chats and church hallways. Then the focus shifted west towards Charlotte, and the name Charlotte's Web started showing up in news stories and press releases. But this web doesn't just exist on paper. It's the web of rumors. They were at the Walmart. They picked someone up in that grocery store parking lot. Don't go near that gas station today. It's the web of text threads and Telegram channels, community groups tracking sightings of agents in real time, doing what they can to give people even a few minutes heads up. While this is happening, another scene unfolds a few miles away. On the campus of NC State University, students gather in the cold, holding signs, chanting, marching together. Some are immigrants, some are children of immigrants. Some are just friends who refuse to stay silent while classmates and their families live in fear. They don't have badges or sirens. What they have is their voices. They're asking who is being arrested. Where are they being taken? Why is there so little information? Because that's one of the sharpest edges of this moment in North Carolina. The silence. Families often don't know where their loved ones have been taken. Lawyers scramble to locate clients. Community groups try to piece together scattered details. This person was picked up here. That person never came home from work. Another was taken while dropping kids at daycare. Even state leaders are demanding answers. North Carolina's governor has written to the Department of Homeland Security asking for clarity. Who exactly is being targeted? How many people have criminal histories? And how many are simply living and working in the state without papers? What rules are agents following? At the same time, local officials in Charlotte have said the surge is ending. But federal officials say the operation is not over, so which is it? To people on the ground, that contradiction doesn't sound like reassurance. It sounds like, stay scared, we'll let you know when we feel like it. And then there's another layer that makes this story even more complicated. These arrests are not just happening in the places the media usually talks about, immigrant neighborhoods or high-risk areas. Reports describe agents appearing at country clubs, upscale shops, and workplaces that don't fit the old stereotypes. The message that sends is loud and clear. There's nowhere you can tell yourself, we're safe here. And so the web stretches farther. But this isn't only a story about fear, it's also a story about resistance and care. In Charlotte, Raleigh, and beyond, community organizations have stepped into overdrive, volunteers answering emergency hotlines late into the night, legal aid groups rushing to file paperwork and track detainees, churches opening their doors to share information, comfort, and prayer. Neighbors driving each other to work or school so fewer people have to walk alone. Some people are teaching Know Your Rights workshops, explaining what to say if agents come to the door, what documents people should keep copies of, how to plan for the unthinkable, a sudden separation of a family. Again, this isn't a distant policy debate. This is raw, human survival work, and while immigrants are at the center of this storm, they're not the only ones affected. Businesses lose workers who are too afraid to show up. Schools see spikes in absences. Hospitals and clinics quietly brace for the health impact of fear. Stress, anxiety, missed appointments, untreated conditions. Children, U.S. citizens in many cases, carry silent burdens. The fear of coming home to an empty apartment, the whispered family conversations about what happens if. These are the invisible costs that never appear in official press releases. So here we are in North Carolina in this exact moment. On one side, a powerful federal operation, agents, vehicles, detention centers, statistics. On the other side, families and communities, phone trees, protest marches, emergency meetings, whispered prayers. In between, a big unanswered question: what kind of state, what kind of country do we become when enforcement is loud and public, but the truth about who is taken, where they are, and why remains so quiet? When you strip away the acronyms ICE, DHS, CBP, Operation Charlotte's Web, what's left is this: a mother sitting by the window checking every pair of headlights that moves down her street. A child holding onto their backpack straps a little tighter. A neighbor offering a ride, a couch to sleep on, a phone number for legal help, and an entire state watching, wondering, is this really what safety looks like? Is this really what justice is supposed to feel like? Tonight, as we talk about the latest news on ICE in North Carolina, remember, behind every headline, there's a human being. Behind every arrest, there's a family story. And behind every protest sign, there's a heart refusing to accept that fear should be anyone's daily routine. That is the story unfolding in North Carolina right now. This has been a Sharri Plaza presentation.